Greetings, and welcome to Premodern BrewQuest, Episode 5. This right here is my solution to the solution, the Rainbow Solution. If you have a better name for it than that, please comment below. I had some other ideas, such as Moneyball Rainbow, or Paradise Grow, or Paradise Lightning, but I think Rainbow Solution makes the most sense. As I said, please comment below which one you like the best, or if you've got a better name. So the idea to the deck is, it was inspired by the solution, which is a deck based around Lightning Angel, one of the best threats in the format. A 3/4 flying, haste, and vigilance just for 4 mana, which is going to swing most board race situations into your favor. Plays well with Lightning Bolt to close out the game. The problem with the solution is, really every time I watch somebody play a solution video, they're loving Lightning Angel and complaining about the mana base. So this is my solution to the solution, as I said, to completely overhaul the mana base and test out committing hard to 5 color mana base. Every land produces every color, and this is also supported by Birds of Paradise, which is going to make any color. There are drawbacks to this. You have to play 4 Gemstone Mine, but arguably you're not taking much more damage than the solution is. The solution already has to play all the pain lands, the enemy pain lands in Sheevan Reef and Battlefield Forge, as well as the Darker Wastes. And they're often playing City of Brass or some number of Grand Coliseum as well. And like I said, if every single solution video consists of the person playing the deck complaining about the mana, we might as well try something drastic and go a different direction. So even though there are some drawbacks to going 5 color, maybe you have a hand with a Reflecting Pool and a City of Brass every once in a while, and your opponent Wastelands or City of Brass, and your Reflecting Pool turns off, or something like that. There are amazing upsides to this mana base as well. The biggest being, we don't just get to play the best colors in red, white, and blue. We also get to play the best colors in black and green. The best cards in black and green as well. So we get to play turn 1 Birds of Paradise, and we get to support Quirion Dryad in this 5-color deck. The only cards that are purely green in the main deck are the Birds of Paradise and the Quirion Dryad. Quirion Dryad gets +1/+1 counter whenever we play a spell of another color. So with all these other multicolored spells of different colors, that card can get out of hand very quickly. You could also think of this as a Lightning Grow style of deck as well. So let's go over the cards a little more closely. You have Birds of Paradise as kind of the ideal turn 1. It accelerates into all of our efficient threats, especially well into Shadowmage Infiltrator on turn 2, which, whenever it hits your opponent, you get to draw an extra card. It's hard to block, can only be blocked by black creatures and artifact creatures. So if you turn 1 a bird and turn 2 the Shadowmage Infiltrator and start hitting, that gets out of hand real quick. It's basically an Phyrexian arena that is damaging your opponent instead of you. Mother of Runes is our other exceptional 1-drop. This card also plays well into Shadowmage Infiltrator, protecting it and making sure that as the game goes on, the Shadowmage value is going to run away with the game. Especially since this deck, being 5 colors and just hard committing, our card quality is extremely high. We're basically just playing all of the most efficient cards in the format. So these cards extra cards that you're drawing off to Shadowmage Infiltrator are extremely high value. Meddling Mage plays well with Mother of Runes. The Mother can protect the Meddling Mage, or they can work in tandem to protect our Shadowmage Infiltrator or our other powerful threats, as mentioned, the Lightning Angel or the Quirion Dryad. And any of these 12 cards, Angels, Infiltrators, and Dryads, if left unanswered, can really run away with the game. For our interaction, we have Lightning Bolt. Such an amazing spell. Works well with Lightning Angel to close out the game. And just amazing cheap removal. Swords to Plowshares, the best removal spell in the format. And Counterspell. Just such an efficient overall answer. And that's basically the whole deck. Now, a few comments on the sideboard. Since we're going to take a lot of damage from our mana base, I wanted to definitely have some life gain in the board. Armadillo Cloak is oftentimes a risky card, but since we have Meddling Mage and Mother of Runes, I think there are a lot of scenarios that we'll be able to play it where we can guarantee protecting our creature against red. And even if we get in just that one key hit, then maybe they need to use a Fire Blast and a Lightning Bolt to take out our guy on the following turn. That's enough to swing a game into our favor. Exalted Angel is similar. It's another card that's going to gain life. If we trade a bunch of cards early, then slam a big life gain creature, that can run away with the game against red. Tsabo's Web, since our mana base is great if it's not being messed with, but potentially weak if our opponent is wastelanding our colored sources or wastelanding our City of Brass or whatever to try to strand a Reflecting Pool, something like that, it can get annoying. And I also want to make sure that Rishadan Ports, cards like that, aren't forcing us to tap colored mana off of Tarnished Citadels too much. So Tsabo's Web, the floor is so high. It just cycles at the end of the day, and it can swing certain matchups hugely into your favor that I think it's a great card to have in the sideboard. Cursed Scroll, this is one of the weaker sideboard cards. I don't really think we need it, but it's what I had in my first playtest session with this deck, so I just wanted to represent the deck as I played it. I'll talk about some changes here in a moment. It's good in grindy matchups, potentially. Moneyball Black, that kind of thing. 2 Winter Orb comes in against the decks that want to go over the top of us, but are a little more mana hungry. Helps us slow down Enchantress, stuff like that for an extra turn. Then we have our Artifact and Enchantment hate here. I went for a diversity of Artifact and Enchantment hate for my first playtest session, so I could kind of bring in different ones and just see what performed the best. Naturalized is extra flexible. Then we have Battle Mages for a different kind of flexibility. 1 Rare Revelation to 2-for-1 enchantments, and then a Tranquil Domain, which is especially good against Replenish or against big Enchantress boards. So in my first playtest session, I played against Moneyball Black. And being the Moneyball Rainbow, my card quality overall was higher. We traded a bunch of cards, and then I'd slam an Angel at the end or run away with the game with Shadowmage Infiltrator. So I haven't tested this deck in a lot of matchups yet, but that initial playtest session, the deck felt quite strong. The concept was there, and it played out as I'd hoped. So going forwards, I don't think I'd change a card in the main deck. I'd have to playtest more before wanting to do that. However, the sideboard, I would like to make a few changes. I realized this deck doesn't have any free counters, so against a deck like Dreadnought, even though we have Swords to Plowshares, and we do have Counterspell, we have some interaction, I think they're going to be able to jam a little too easily. So I wanted to have a little bit more cheap interaction for Dreadnought in the board. I'll start by looking at the Artifact and Enchantment section for that. I wanted to have more efficient Artifact hate. These two cards, they hate artifacts, but that's basically what they're there for, but they're not as efficient as they could be. So the first thing I would do is add 2 Crumbles over the Battle Mage and the Naturalize. And then a similar thing, since we're losing 1 Enchantment hate card from the Naturalize, I want to add another one. And in my testing against Moneyball Black, Ray of Revelation overperformed. So I'd really like to just bring in a second Ray. I'd like to bring in 2 of those in some matchups. Just having a 2-for-1 off of that card, when you can cast it in your colors, it's such a strong card. So basically, with the Artifact and Enchantment hate, we're getting more focused. We tested initially with a bunch of different kinds, but I think this is the configuration I'm going to want going forwards. Cursed Scroll, like I said, it's a bit, it's just a fun card I threw in. I don't think it needs to be in the sideboard. And where I'd go for Cursed Scroll moving forwards, I think I want to play Misdirection, because I realized that this deck has a lot of blue cards. We have 20 total. We have 4 Shadow Mages, 4 Lightning Angels, 4 Counterspells, 4 Meddling Mages, and 4 Portents, meaning that post-board, we can support this when it's going to act enough like a Force of Will. Misdirection, it's not always a Force of Will, but in the context of a Shrimp matchup, the Dreadnought matchup, like I mentioned, I want a bit more free interaction so that, you know, maybe I Swords to Plowshares, they're Dreadnought, they Counterspell back, and then, or they foil, they're tapped out or something like that. But we're tapped out too. I want to be able to win that counter battle with a Misdirection on their foil or on their Counterspell. So, I mean, it's going to have other application too. Maybe against mono red when we're trying to land an Armadillo Cloak. Just making sure that we have free interaction to make sure that key spell comes through and our life gain creature survives. So that's where I'd go going forward. Of course, there would be more tweaks. I got to test the deck more, but I'm pretty happy with this. Please comment below if you have any suggestions for other cards I should really be considering in this deck, things I may have overlooked. Or just, like I said, let me know if you got a better name for the deck or which one you like the most. Thanks again for watching. Take care.